Here we have a new 2024 GMC Yukon XL. Now this Yukon XL comes in the Denali Ultimate trim level, and we have white frost tri-coat paint on Alpine Umber perforated leather interior. And for the powertrain, we get a 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8 engine. That's made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. So as we come around to the front end here, we do get our LED headlamps along with LED daytime running lights and that signature Denali Ultimate grille. So nice mesh look, and then we have that galvanized gray with that matching emblem. It's a very sophisticated, beautiful look in my opinion. But around the wheels here, these are pretty much the Denali Ultimate wheels. These are 22-inch aluminum. Love the look with that. Kind of matches the accents in the grille in my opinion. But passive keyless entry on all 4 doors, power running boards, power door lock controls, memory seats. We have express down windows in the back, one-touch automatic up and down windows for the front, power folding side mirrors with blind spot monitors, and then all of our other controls, power mirrors, and rear window lock is there. But I love that wood grain there, and then I love that kind of cowhide look there. Tons of space in the door panel, and we do get that 18-speaker Bose Performance Series sound system. Now with this being an Ultimate, we do have the standard air ride suspension, so we can adjust that here and it'll tell you which mode you're in. And then we have several drive modes: tow haul, off-road, sport, and normal. And then headlamp controls are here, full 4-wheel drive controls, trailer brake controller, lane keep assist, lane departure, auto stop, automatic parking assist, just a lot of stuff here. And then an electronic parking brake, press to engage, hit the brake, press it again to disengage. Hood release, pedals, power tilt and telescoping steering wheel. And there's that power driver seat with 4-way power lumbar massage function. Again, we get that for the driver and front passenger. And I just love this color and the overall feel of the seat here. But I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3", longer legs. That's my driving position. So we're gonna go ahead and check out this rear leg room. I'm gonna put the seat all the way back there. Well, it's almost all the way back. So here's the leg room here, very impressive. And then we do have the seat back pockets on both sides. And then down here we have our rear AC controls, so we can toggle the mode, fan speed, temperature, all of that. And then we have 3-stage heated outboard seats, 2 HDMI ports, 2 USB-C charge ports, and a 120-volt 3-prong household plug-in there. Now this is the view you get for the rear media system on either side. So you can hook up your wireless headphones, use Hulu, YouTube, or HDMI ports there. It's just a lot that you can fool with here. I'm gonna show you something neat. I can actually do this from the front. I can power fold these seats back and forth. So let's say you're at Lowe's and you're getting a big load and you just let the kids out. You can go ahead and easily move those seats. But this is the crazy part here. So technically I can sit back here, no problem, because my knees aren't even touching the back of the seat because it's not all the way back. It's like a step up, but I can sit back there as you saw, and then I can sit here as well. So very impressive interior space. But let's go ahead and make our way towards the back. And this white frost tri-coat just looks so fantastic, especially on a bright day like today in the winter. But to the back end, LED tail lamps. We have that beautiful quad exhaust that I've grown to love on these Yukon Denalis with the 6.2 liter. And the power liftgate button there. There's a view of the space behind the third row. Now the XL does have about twice as much room behind the third row as the standard Yukon. So that's helpful, having all that additional space, but still power fold the third row and then power release that second row. Then we have another 3-prong household plug-in there. Now, if you want to fold that second row flat to go with that third row, all you have to do, if you want to do it from up here, hold that there, folds right into the floor, and then you can run those longer objects through. And then to put it back into place, just give it a little oomph. And then if you want to pull it back, well, wrong button. This right here, pull up, push back. So pretty easy to do, doesn't require too much force. I recommend having both hands. It's a pretty difficult job with one, but I manage. But a huge shout out to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Yukon XL Denali Ultimate today. I'll leave a link below in the description if you're looking for one of these. But you all can pause anywhere you need to on this window sticker. Just so you can see all the standard features and then what this thing stickers for with the Super Cruise on it. But front passenger seat here, again, same adjustability as the driver's side, 16-way with massage. Then we have a lockable glove compartment here, pretty decent size. And then we also have an additional pocket on either side. If you want to put sheets of paper or smaller phones, you can do that. Now as we come back around to the front here, just gonna show the engine bay for a sec. And there, the 6.2 liter V8 is mostly covered up, but it's in there. And now we're gonna go ahead and hop in the driver's seat, take a look at the interior features. So there's the view there. Now this is my driving position, but to get a wider angle, I'm just gonna tilt it back a little bit. So there's a steering wheel there. You have your Super Cruise monitor there, and then the indicator is right there. There's the horn. Now to the screen, this is a 10.2-inch Google Assistant system. So we do get AM, FM, XM radio, Bluetooth audio, Amazon Alexa, Google News, Google Podcast, and then we have wireless CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility. Let's go with the Google Maps system here. Now, of course, you have to have a subscription with the new Google Maps that come on these newer GMCs. But cool thing is, if you don't want to pay for that, at least not pay for it all the time, you can just mostly use your Google or your whatever you have on your wireless CarPlay or wireless Android Auto device. And then if you are taking a long road trip or going cross country, you want it for a month, you can do that too. Now camera angles, you have quite a few. So there's a front camera there, backup camera there. We have curbside view, trailer hitch view, etc. And then we do get dual zone automatic climate control. So I'm gonna turn that on through the screen and then show you the buttons and knobs down below. So we're gonna go ahead and set that to about 72, sync it in auto. And then you can see the buttons and knobs are down there. We get 3-stage heated cool front seats, and then your heated steering wheel toggle is actually right here, which is a weird spot, but with the Super Cruise, there was nowhere else to put the button. Wireless charging pad, USB-C, USB-A port, 12-volt bottle holders, and then you can stow both of those there. But back to the screen here, we have a Wi-Fi hotspot. We can control the rear media. The settings are in here. If you want to change your language, just scroll down to system, and then you have that option there. And then vehicle settings, connections, and you can go ahead and pair your Bluetooth device. It gives you a checklist to go through to make sure that everything's set up correctly. That's pretty much the screen there. Now I'm gonna open this back up and then open this center console cubby space, which is pretty nice, pretty big storage area in general. And then I'm gonna push back this sunshade, and while that's going back, I'm gonna show you the sunroof controls. You can slide here, tilt here. You can actually power fold, like I showed earlier, that third row. And then we have the power liftgate knob there, so you can adjust either max 3/4 or off, and then you can push it to open or shut. And then the theft inclination sensor, you can toggle that there, as well as the garage door transmitter. But there's a view of the roof back, the sunshade back, excuse me. And then we can push that sunroof all the way back one touch, nice open area. And then I can close it while also closing the sunshade. While that's happening, you can see a look at the back seat from up here. Rear camera mirror, toggle for that is there. Hazards are here, and then for the shifter, press P for park, reverse, neutral, drive, low gear. You can adjust this limiter there. Now back to the steering wheel. You have automatic windshield wipers, so there's one time there, off, intermittent, auto, low, high, and you can adjust that within the wiper settings there. And then we have the front wiper fluid, and for the rear wiper, off, intermittent, on, rear wiper fluid, pull either way. And then when the low beams are on, we can toggle the high beams, flash there. Now behind on the right side, volume can be adjusted up or down. And behind on the left side, we can go through our track list, radio station presets up or down there. Adaptive cruise, set that there. The gap adjust for that, and the forward collision alert is right here. And then when you're in the adaptive cruise mode, you can set the super cruise there, cancel, adjust speed. And then we have voice recognition, mute, and then the scroll bar, as well as these arrows, can be used to go through the gauge cluster here. So I can actually go in here in the options setting, change my units from US to metric if I so choose, toggle the info page options, even show what's in the bottom of the lower gauge cluster. So right side can be adjusted, left side, the whole layout can be adjusted. It's just very, very easy to customize. You might get lost in it actually. Now the heads-up display doesn't flash like that, but I want to show all the info that's available. And then finally, push button start. And here's the key fob with remote start. Now let's go ahead and take this GMC Yukon XL Denali Ultimate out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Yukon XL Denali Ultimate, this is basically for those who need just a little bit more space in the back. I should say they want the ultimate, no pun intended, use of storage and space for their family and everything that they're going to be taking with them. Now the good thing is you don't really feel the difference in size, the difference in weight from a driving perspective, from an acceleration perspective. The price is only about $2 or $3 grand more for this as opposed to just a regular Yukon similarly equipped. But for a lot of people, that's a big difference. Even though the new Denalis have more space, they're not as good as this XL. So got up to speed very nicely. I'm gonna test out the Super Cruise here. And once this indicator turns green, we'll be able to do that for a second. So there's that. Actually, I'm turning it on. So now we have the Super Cruise activated. Lane centering. We can control the distance. It's even trying to auto lane change now. It always tries to do that, but I have to get off at this exit here and then it goes away. So the Super Cruise is fantastic. My favorite semi-autonomous driving system out right now. It's just seamless. It doesn't necessarily scare you with trying to do too much than it's supposed to. Tesla's autopilot, Ford's Blue Cruise kind of can scare you sometimes because it'll randomly just decide it doesn't want to do this or it doesn't want to do that. And knock on wood, I haven't had that issue with the Super Cruise system yet. But with having the magnetic ride control, the air suspension, and everything else, the ride in this has been fantastic, even with these bigger 22-inch wheels. Now, in terms of the competition, I think the biggest competitor for something like this is going to be the Grand Wagoneer. Also, a fully loaded Expedition Max would probably be competitive with this, but there's just something about the Yukons. I think the looks are the best, the features are the best, and the interior, to me, the Wagoneer might have it a little bit, but it's at least second best, I think. Now that Grand Wagoneer's new interior is fantastic, but I also don't feel like it's as buggy as this one is either, because there's less going on. Of course, that Grand Wagoneer has however many screens going. You got the screen over there, the one down here. And GM just kept it a bit more simple. They installed the Google Assistant system, which is pretty decent, but then you still have your regular buttons and knobs to control your HVAC controls. And we'll give it one more slight pull here. And it's just so strong. I just put my foot into it a little bit and it just roared. So of course, with this being as big of an SUV as it is, getting up to speed won't be a big issue, but it is thirsty. So having 18 miles per gallon highway, 14 city, that'll bite your pocketbook. But if you can afford one of these, it probably won't be a big one. Now with Super Cruise, again, it's one of my favorite, it is my favorite semi-autonomous system. And it's just so nice to have on those longer road trips. When you're going to Florida, you got the car packed, every seat's taken, and then having that 18 speaker BOSE sound system to drown out the screaming kids. But also just having something that's pretty safe in terms of just the size of it, the airbags, and then having all of your features to see who's got their seatbelt on, who doesn't. But mostly the Super Cruise, which will make sure that you're on your toes, and then just having the ability to auto lane change and knowing that the vehicle's not gonna have you out here bad. It just gives you that extra form of comfort, I think. But all in all, I mean, it's a $105,000 vehicle that down the road, if you need to repair something, probably won't be cheap. But if you have the money to buy this, hopefully you'll have the money down the road to fix it if you keep it and pay it off. But just an impressive large SUV. And with that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2024 GMC Yukon XL Denali Ultimate.